So this is the culprit. This is what causes all the problems. This is the Sevcon Gen 4 motor controller for the Transmission-16 from Thunderstruck. So I've been through 3 encoders, and this item has stopped communicating with everything. So it doesn't work. It doesn't register temperature. It doesn't register any of the sensors in the motor at all. It basically is, it must be a brick. And there's no visible outside, there's no visible damage or anything on it. There's nothing like, obvious overheat or anything like this. So I don't think this is worth, one, it is not worth replacing because the replacement is going to be just as expensive, to the $1,300 to $1,400, and it will still require programming from proprietary Borg Warner software to the tune of a $650 a year subscription and a $650 cable running off of a Linux or a Windows machine. So I say no. Everything is in great shape on the outside. I don't get it. Maybe I can reuse this heat sink. This is quite a nice bit of kit. Yay. We'll see. So I'm certain that somebody out there is asking, so is this put me off from putting an electric drive back into the boat? Certainly not. I have seen firsthand examples, like my friend Norm's boat, that worked fantastically with an electric drive. I have been on that boat motoring for 30 hours. So no, I'm not put off from putting an electric drive back in the boat. It just tells me that I need to be able to completely program, repair, and maintain the device, because once it's outside of your control, you're beholden to pay somebody whatever they want to ask for the programming software, the cable, the assistance. Thunderstruck did offer to have me send this unit back to them with the possibility that if they determined it was not user error, meaning mine, they would offer me a discount on a new one. A discount. It had less than 30 hours on it, and it died. So yeah, I'm a little more than disappointed in Thunderstruck's performance in this item. I have a suspicion that it was not programmed when I received it, so it never had a hope of running for very long, because the pattern seems to be, without proper programming, it just kills the encoder and then dies, or that the unit was dying, failing all along the way, but it was working just enough to convince me that it was good. Now, by the time I installed the unit, I didn't have much time left on my warranty. So another reason that Thunderstruck only offered me a discount for a new one. Initially, I'd gone with an electric motor system from Thunderstruck Motors because I thought I didn't have enough time to learn how to build such a system. My theory was to go with a complete system that somebody else tested, kitted, put together so that everything would work when I installed it. And $3,600 later, that actually did happen for a period of time. But within a few months of operating the electric drive, I noticed a drop in performance. And that drop in performance left me in some dangerous situations. As it happened, my friend Neil had a friend who worked for a company that built electric systems for forklifts. After I sent some specs about my existing motor and throttle, Matt was able to send me a comparison of the Sevcon Gen 4 against the FlipSky 75200 with specs and some installation instructions. Okay, I think I just sorted this out. We're looking for pin 33. Okay, motor thermistor in, analog, yes. From thermistor device mounting inside motor. Okay, cool. All right. 5 volt. Great, 2.2 ohms, so I know that it needs a 5 volt power supply. This is the resistance, which should not affect me any. And it also says connect to other lead for the thermistor. Since the ME1114 already had a water-resistant harness, it only made sense to reuse that existing wiring.
Keeping in mind that the salt water wants to kill every bit of electronics gear, I used pre-soldered heat shrink connections to harden this install. Doing this on a boat that's being waked is a bit of a challenge. Here's a result: the FlipSky 75200 V2 Pro with a sci-fi sprinkler box to protect it. I have a contingency plan should thermal limits become an issue to add a liquid cooling system.
Okay, I have to modify a couple of wires that go to the throttle that I already have, which is also a bit of expensive kit that I don't care to get rid of. So I'm going to strip all these off. Buy a boat, they said. It'll be fun, they said. Well, you will learn how to do many more things than you ever thought you would need to know in your entire life. So that's certainly the truth. If you'd like a continuing, ongoing, never-ending education, boat ownership is for you.
I made a template to optimize the location of the box install in the engine compartment.
There's a wake hitting the boat from a boat speeding by.
Since the new controller came with its own sparkless switch completely fit to it, I just added a wire extension and swapped it out from the old keyed switch.
Well, the wind is picked up out of the west, and it is, yeah, the boat is swinging a little bit. Yesterday I cleaned the anchor chain out, so I need to let the chain back out because I do not want to be sitting on only 30 feet of chain with this wind picking up. So I'll do that momentarily. But in the meantime, I want to show you a little more about the FlipSky 75200 that I replaced the original motor controller with. So here's the point at which the VESC FlipSky 75200 is head and shoulders above the Sevcon Gen 4. Yes, it is not as robust a bit of kit because it's just not in the large plastic housing, and it doesn't have this big cooling fin on the back of it, doesn't have a big plate, but I can program it completely from my phone. All I have to do is turn the motor on, the power to the system, have Bluetooth on my phone, open up the app and tell it to connect. That's it. I can go in and change everything about how that motor interacts with that controller. So no more Borg-Warner proprietary software, no more $650 cable, no more laptop just to be able to program that motor controller. And this was only $175. So
Yeah, not as well built. That's why I put it inside of the sprinkler box housing, so that it would be more robust and have a longer lifespan in this marine environment. All right, now that I have the electric drive installed and working, it's time to fine tune it, which is going to take some time. I've gotten up to 4,000 RPM. Remember, half of that is what's getting to the prop. So you're looking at 2,000 RPM. That's a little high on the target range for a sailboat. Much more than that, and you're just wasting energy. I've got the motor on. I've got the app open on my phone, and I can see what it's doing. Give it a little throttle. Starts right up. 1,000 RPM. 13 duty cycle. And it's moving water. Give it 3,000 RPMs. You can hear the motor wind up right now. Okay. 4,000. About 30 duty cycle. Okay. And it's running consistently. And we're moving very slowly because the prop and the bottom of the boat are super dirty. Alright. Throttle that down. Goes right to 0. Let's try reverse. $1,000, $2,000, and the boat is backing up on the chain. All right, 23 duty, about 100 amps. I can even vary the limit between the forward and reverse, so you can only reverse to a certain RPM, but I almost don't see a point in that because if your max is gonna be 4,000, you're only gonna get 2,000, less than 2,000 to the prop because you're losing a couple hundred. There's 4,000. Seems like the belt's making a little noise, but all right, there we go. I think from this point out, it is minor improvements and tweaks and cleaning the bottom, which I may wait until the weekend's over, so I'm not getting waked all the time. But getting the prop alone cleaned and getting the rest of the boat taken care of will make everything work much better. Well, it's going to be a bit before I get all the details worked out on this new controller. There's a ton more settings for me to go through. There's offsets and all this other stuff that I don't fully understand. So thank you to Matt for helping me out with the lead on the VESC controller, all the information that he gave me via email, and the you can do this support. When I started this project, my knowledge was limited to which end of the soldering iron not to hold. Hopefully this encourages some of you out there to maybe try to build your own. The VESC project website, which I will link to in the description of this video, there's a ton of stuff on the VESC website about how to program one-wheels, bikes. There's a little bit on sailboats and boats in general, but not a lot. I had to really hunt for anything. But with that said, with the information I did find was useful. So there's that, especially when it came to programming the throttle. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Like and subscribe? Yeah. The way you'll know when the next thing comes out. I won't tell you to turn on notifications. Nobody needs all the notifications coming off of YouTube. And besides, I'd much rather think that you guys were out there making your own projects. So until next time, which I think I will be showing you some interior painting because this boat needs it. Nanu, nanu.